Hello viewers and welcome back to Daytona Milton Keynes for round 4 of the Elite Karting Series season. And well, what a season it has been so far. Split 2 race 3 is coming up shortly, and well, Ross Sandwell is going to be vying for his first victory in the EKS, starting on pole position. Lewis Jolley alongside him on the front row of the grid. George Braund looking to make it 2 top 3 finishes in a row ahead of Brad Whitehouse on row 2, with Adam Barras and Adam Thompson on row 3. Graham Fernandez is in 7th position, with Barney Williams just 8 tenths of a second back in 8th, our leading heavyweight drivers so far in this round. Chrissy Harding and Andy Leister both find themselves back in at the top 10, this time 9th and 10th on the 5th row of the grid. Jose Hismera starts in 11th position, with Elias Scatchard in 12th. Ethan Vince, Adotsi and Yachi Lowe are row 7, Chris O'Connell and Miles Harding row 8 of the grid. Daniel Morn and Hugh Morriton make up row 9, with Troy Fraser-McGonigal sitting in 19th. So it is Ross Sandwell on pole position, looking to make it his first win in the EKS. It will have been a long time coming for him, but he's got Lewis Jolley alongside him as they make their way down into turn 1. Will be an interesting scrap as it's lights out and away we go, and Lewis Jolley on that outside line gets the jump. He does to Ross. What Ross did in at the first race to Tyler Thomas. Brad Whitehouse goes around the outside of George Braund into turn 2, can't quite squeeze his way through and has to stay where he is as they make their way up into turn 5. He's under pressure on the inside line and on the outside line. Adam Thompson is going to climb up a position here into turn 5. Brad Whitehouse just trying to keep the kart in nice condition here as he loses a little bit of time, just a few kart lengths to George Braund into turn 6. George has been impressive over the last 2 races. Miles Harding has got a great view. He's relatively far up the order here and actually has that 102 kart just in front of him. He's hoping that he can start to kick on and maybe get a top 10 finish here. George Braund, meanwhile, watching Lewis Jolley and Ross Sandwell, because Ross Sandwell has got himself back into the lead of the race as they fly their way down the railway straight for the first time. Lewis Jolley is back to the inside line into turn 9. He goes to the inside line of Ross Sandwell, can't quite find his way through. Ross is so untidy on the inside line, but just about gets himself composed on the brakes. His exit isn't fantastic though, and Lewis sails back around the outside line, becomes the inside line for the final hairpin and gets himself into the lead of the race.
Yeah, good move there by Lewis Jolley. So Ross managed to hold on to the lead at the start. Lewis got a little bit of a better launch off the line, but Ross then had the inside for the first 2 corners and was able to hold on to the lead. But like you've just seen there, Lewis Jolley now has managed to get through and into the lead of the race, with Ross in 2nd place and then George Braund in 3rd. So we've got Brad Whitehouse in 4th. First time he's had an onboard camera in the EKS. He's actually just hired it from Daytona right before this race. So he just paid 12 quid to have this camera for this race. So I think we got better make use of his onboard whilst he's got it. Meanwhile, Chrissy Harding, can I just say, what a race she's doing so far. Qualified right up at the sharp end in this race, and she's battling out with Graham Fernandez for 7th place. So Chrissy Harding putting her practice that she got in at the Daytona 24-hour into good use, and she is up in 8th place right behind Graham Fernandez. She's setting some really good lap times too. She was in the 106s in the previous race. She is doing very well indeed, as we can see her husband Miles Harding was just battling away there further down the order with the car in front of him. I believe that was Chris O'Connell. But yeah, she is doing very well here behind Graham Fernandez as they come across the start finish line to bring to the end lap 2 of the race.
It's hearing the static camera, by the way, that's positioned down at turn 1, just watching the cars fly by. I heard that in my headphones for a second. That's such a fantastic sound in these with these two-stroke engines, I should say. It's only 5 tenths of a second at the lead of the race, by the way. Ross Sandwell and Lewis Jolley. That possibly has evened out a little bit, or gained a little bit more time, Lewis, I should say, this time round, as he seems to be visually a little bit further away. Adam Thompson still putting that pressure on Brad Whitehouse, who looks over his shoulder. Adam in turn looks over his shoulder as they go down the hill into turn 8. So Brad gains just enough time here to really lose that pressure from Adam. That being said, Adam's run through turn 8 is far superior, and now down into turn 9 they go. Adam looks to the outside line, he looks to the inside briefly, but has to go the long way around here on Brad Whitehouse, who's clear of him into the corner, and on the brakes there's no way through for Adam Thompson. You don't want to dive down the inside of that part of the track, as just simply too nervous on the brakes, these cars. Brad Whitehouse will be slightly frustrated here, actually. I think that he's not been able to really catch up to George Braund here down into turn 1. All of them, by the way, are under a little bit of pressure as well from Graham Fernandez and Chrissy Harding.
That last lap, by the way, by Lewis Jolley was an absolute stonker of a lap. He was over a second a lap quicker than everyone on circuit. He did a 1:06 dead. What a lap that was by Lewis Jolley. He is checked out at the front as a result, pulled away from Ross Sandwell. So it's a great drive here by Lewis Jolley. He won Split 3 Race 2 last time out at Butmore on his debut in the EKS, and he's now winning this race again. So this could be 2 wins in 2 rounds, in his first 2 rounds by Lewis Jolley. It's a great drive here by him. He has not got much two-stroke experience whatsoever. He does have experience of this track from things like the Daytona 24 Hour, but very little experience in DMAX cars. He's doing really well here in this race ahead of Ross Sandwell. Then, like you say, you've got George Braund not far behind. He's under pressure from Brad Whitehouse and Adam Thompson, and they've got Adam Barras just behind them as well. So there's a whole train of karts here in this battle for second position.
As Adam Thompson tries to get an exit out of turn 11 on Brad Whitehouse, but Brad in the end actually gets a superior exit out of both of them and starts to attack George Braund here down into turn 2 again. George is not really having to go particularly defensive here, and through turn 4 they go. Brad Whitehouse again just looking for that tighter line possibly, and looks to the inside into turn 5, more showing his nose than anything, trying to size up whether that move was a possibility for him, and in the end turns out that it's not. Miles Harding meanwhile is battling along himself. This has been a really good run for Miles. He is down in 16th position at the moment, Chris O'Connell just in front of him, but in terms of the battling he's been doing, he's been very, very busy.
He has indeed, yeah. He's been scrapping away with Chris O'Connell and Andy Laister, who is right in front. All 3 of these drivers, remember, are heavyweight drivers, so coming in at 95 plus kilos as they head through turn number 7. Look at this shot from the driver. That's a good shot there of George Braund going down the railway straight and into turn number 10 now in front of Brad Whitehouse. You then got Adam Thompson, like I say, right behind in front of Adam Barras. Good luck, by the way, telling the difference between Brad Whitehouse and Adam Barras. They both got Daytona helmets on and they both got the same suits on, so they look completely identical in this race. Both have had to switch over to Daytona helmets as they don't have tinted visors, and it is, as you can see, getting into night time. So yeah, that's why them and a few others have had to put Daytona helmets on for this race. But yeah, these guys all scrapping out for 3rd position. No one able to go for a move right at this moment in time, but they're all within striking distance of one another, so if anyone makes a mistake they should be able to get through on each other, as we are seeing from Miles Harding on board. We can see Chris O'Connell right in front with Andy Laister. These guys up at the sharp end of the heavyweight class, so they are battling out, I think it's for 2nd in heavyweights, with Barney Williams leading the way in the heavyweight class, so they're not battling for nothing.
The heavyweights at the moment being dominated by Barney Williams. Adam Thompson catches up to Brad Whitehouse. He was really, really close. I was keeping an eye on him. I was on board over the course of this lap, but he hasn't really been able to make that final move and get through into turn 11. There'll be an opportunity here, but again just has to back out of throttle ever so slightly to stop him going for an optimistic dive on Brad Whitehouse, as Chrissy Harding, will keep it in mind that she's still behind him. Chrissy has had a fantastic run into 8th position. I don't think she would have expected that from this race, and well, a driver who's relatively inexperienced in outdoor karting still. Her first race, in fact, was Tamworth, round 1 last year inside of outdoor karting, more of an indoor driver. And well, here she's well, it's been a rapid improvement for Chrissy, I should say, over the few EKS rounds that she's done over the last 18 months or so. Adam Thompson then gets a run out of turn 6 into turn 7, but Brad Whitehouse putting the car where he needs to. A bit of understeer on exit will allow Adam to catch up, but again, just the straight line speed for Brad seems to be slightly superior. He's having to rely on a bad run out of 8 is Adam Thompson. He might just get it here. He's ducking behind the steering wheel, trying to find a way past Brad Whitehouse, but right now they stay agonisingly just a few kart lengths separated from each other.
Yeah, they are. They're very close to each other. You can see both this battle and the battle between Graham Fernandez and Chrissy Harding both on screen at the same time. Just by the way, Chrissy Harding, she did a mammoth amount of driving in the Daytona 24 Hour for the EKS All-Star. She did more than a third of the race, so there's over 8 hours worth of driving for the EKS All-Stars in that race. So only Ross Sandwell, he did about a third of the race too. They had to cover for other drivers who couldn't do their stints. So the two of them got a lot of practice in at the Daytona 24 Hour. It looks like it is paying dividends in this race. We can see Ross Sandwell, like we say, in 2nd place, and we can see Chrissy all the way up in P8. This will definitely be her best ever results in the EKS, up in Split 2, up towards the sharp end of it. as you can see Adam Thompson on the screen, he's still all over the back of Brad Whitehouse. We keep thinking he's going to go for the move, but he's not quite going for it. And you can see from this drone shot now, you can actually see Adam Barras, he's in this fight too. So unfortunately Adam hasn't got an onboard camera, but he is right up the back end of Adam Thompson. Gives him a little bit of a bump there actually, coming out of turn number 8. I think Adam Thompson was getting a bit annoyed with himself there, just banging the steering wheel because he can't quite get close enough to Brad Whitehouse to go for the move. That is allowing Adam Barras to get up to the back of him here, but Adam isn't going for the move either. He's not quite close enough himself. So this is an agonising battle here. They're all so close to each other, but they're all not quite close enough to go for what they feel will be a safe and comfortable move as yet. Battling out for P3. You can see the rest of the field coming across the line here. You've got Barney Williams doing really well again, up in 9th place. He's been really impressive this round. He did well at Buckwell up at the sharp end of split 3, and he's right up to the sharp end of split 2 here. And he's dominating the heavyweight class within this race, and he's almost certainly going to take home the trophy for the top senior heavyweight driver. As you can see now from the drone shot, you can see them heading through turn number 6. That was George Braund still at the front of this battle for 3rd position. You can still see Chrissy Harding. She's right behind Graham Fernandez as they go down the back straight down towards turn number 8 at the far end of the circuit. Is she going to go for the move at any point soon? As both of these drivers, they do have onboard cameras, both have cam boxes actually, as they head up the railway straight. Is she going to go for the move, or is she just going to stay behind? Let's head now down into turn number 10. She's nearly close enough, nearly there. She's about half a length behind, but think better of going for the move. That would have been a bit of a send to get past there, as we now come towards the final 2 laps of the race with Lewis Jolley now 3.8 seconds in the lead ahead of Ross Sandwell.
Absolutely, and Lewis is really dominating this race. 3.8 seconds between himself and Ross Sandwell. This will be so frustrating for Ross because he wanted to win. He wanted to get a win here in the EKS, but unfortunately it's not going to happen here at Milton Keynes. He's going to have to wait for our next round, which is in just a couple of weeks' time, as Miles Harding is on the inside here of Chris O'Connell. He'll make that move into turn 1 and make it stick as well. A good drive so far, as I said, for Miles Harding. He's all the way up into 15th position now, so into the top 15. Chrissy Harding meanwhile caught up quite significantly to that 108 of Graham Fernandez into the excuse me, not Graham Fernandez, caught up to that 108 a couple of moments ago, but hasn't quite been able to find a way through.
No, it hasn't, but yeah, good battle. It is Graham Fernandez in front, who she is battling with. She's so agonising, isn't it, from Adam Thompson's onboard. You can just see the 2 cars right in front. They're being right there throughout the whole race, and he just isn't quite able to go for the move like we said earlier. We've got Adam Barras still right behind. He's only 8 tenths behind Adam Thompson, and that again is agonisingly close. But as we see on his final lap of the race, we see Lewis Jolley from this drone shot. He's another driver who's had to put a Daytona crash helmet on for this race due to him not having a clear visor on him, and he is doing a fantastic job. He's actually just set a 1:05.9, so he is the fastest driver on track in this race, predictably. That is why he's in the lead, and he's setting fantastic lap times, definitely arguing for a place in split 1 going forwards. He will be racing with us at the next round as Chrissy Harding, meanwhile, she's up the inside of Graham Fernandez going through turn number 6. Now can she get the comeback and then coming out turn 7? She's got the undercut on him, a little bit contact. Oh, that was a little bit naughty there by Graham Fernandez. I think he may have cut Chrissy off a little bit there. It was a bit difficult to judge who entirely was at fault for that. You can hear from Chrissy's onboard that she's not entirely happy with Graham Fernandez here. But now, as he comes out of the final corner, Lewis Jolley comes across the line and he's going to take the victory in the final split 2 race of the day. What a drive that is by Lewis Jolley as he comes across the line. That is what, a 4-second gap, 4.3 seconds to Ross Sandwell. George Braund just about holds on to 3rd position ahead of Brad Whitehouse, with Adam Thompson then very close behind in 5th place, and Adam Barras also close behind in P6. And then we've got the rest of the field coming across the line to what was not the most eventful race in terms of overtakes, but a very, very close race, especially in that battle for 3rd. And it goes to show that you don't have to have a ton of overtaking to have a fantastic race.
Incredible drive then from Lewis Jolley, who's the only driver on the grid to get in to the 65-second lap times. Ross Sandwell agonisingly misses out for Crawley Seekers in 2nd position. His time, as we've said, definitely to come here in the EKS, just falling short here at Milton Keynes. George Braund and Brad Whitehouse are 3rd and 4th position for Team 22 and Connecticut respectively. Adam Thompson and Podium Racing are in 5th position, with Chrissy Harding a remarkable drive up in to 6th position ahead of your heavyweight winner Barney Williams in 7th. Lilia Scatchard, Jose Hizmera and Yachi Low will all be delighted to make up the rest of the top 10. Good drives from all involved. Andy Laister in 11th position for Odd Squad Racing. We have got a couple of heavy penalties that were given out in that race. Ethan Vincent-Dotzi being one of them, Adam Barras and Graham Fernandez, all 30-second penalties. So very, very harsh penalties for the things you can see on the bottom of the screen. So we are joined by Lewis Jolley. Lewis, that was a really fantastic drive in Split 2. The only pity is that there's no promotion forthcoming. However, you still got a really good work.
Yeah, I was going to say we had a really good start, and I was side by side with Ross going through turn 1. It's just a shame that I didn't quite manage to get the move done there. I followed him around for the whole of lap 1, and we were side by side coming back up the hill, side by side through the fast left-hander you can see behind us, and then he went a bit deep into the hairpin, and I got the run out of the hairpin and just managed to get past him and then just cruise away. I think there was no real trouble aside from that.
And was that just the thought process, just cruising out to the end?
Well, once I got the gap, it was a case of, I just didn't know. I think he held on for a couple of laps, and then I just slowly started to move. I think once I broke the slipstream, it was basically done and dusted. So, once let's say about halfway through the race, I thought, that's it now. I can just kind of settle into a nice rhythm and just cruise it home.
Right, thank you very much, Lewis. We'll speak to you soon.
Okay, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Joined now by Ross Sandwell. Ross, that was, a slightly frustrating drive. You couldn't quite get the win, but you've been really consistent throughout the day.
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a theme. Just all the podiums, no end product. But no, it was a good race. I kind of messed up on the hairpin just before the start-finish straight, and from there on he created the gap and kept it. So yeah, it was just frustrating to see him walk away, but I couldn't have done any more.
And you were under pressure from cars behind, so I suppose it was good that you at least managed to hold on.
Yeah, no, it started just purely to become like just a consistent drive. I tried to just keep the laps as clean as possible whilst trying to push flat out. Ended up being decent gap behind, but yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Ross. We'll speak to you soon.
No worries. Thank you, cheers.